recording?
We're recording.
Nice one, Phil. Alright, Pop-Tarts, Rick here, guys. We just started today for a camp. I'm just going to light the fire. There's no smoke and mirrors. What is, what is. If it lights, it lights. If it doesn't, I've got to have a think and adapt and overcome, really, and start again. Before I do start lighting the fire, I'm just going to quickly go through what I have in my fire lighting kit. So if you can quickly zoom in on this, Phil. Yep.
Yeah.
So this is an old tobacco pouch thing. I found this on a walk one day. That's for putting dry tinder in when I'm out and about collecting stuff. That's that. Spare shoelaces, I'll just put them in there to stop things rattling around. In here I've got some King Alfred cakes, Daldinia concentrica. If you look there, you can see the concentric rings. A bit like a cigarette lighter in the old cars we used to get. That's that. I've got a buckshee knife, a spare knife here, just for doing, I suppose, fire sticks and stuff like that. I've also got flint and steel. In there is a flint and steel. I'm not going to drag it all out. There's some fat wood in there as well, and 2 lighters. I've got a big fat fire steel as well. This was recommended to me by Dave Canterbury of the Pathfinder School at the Bushcraft Show this year gone. I had the pleasure to interview him with Adrian, who I was a photographer for Ribble FM that day, which was great. Dave gave us some fantastic tips, really, and he just said, look, he said, this knowledge isn't mine. You know, I didn't dream this stuff. This knowledge has been there for years. I'm just passing it on. And his thing was, look, you've got to light a fire and light it the quickest way you can. Today I'm going to use a fire steel and a striker and some birch bark. But Dave's thing was, look, just get a fire lit, it keeps you warm. I've got 2 lighters in here. Just pop that back in there. And then for ease and for, depending if it's raining or I'm struggling getting a fire going, I've got so another method of fire lighting, some waterproof, stormproof matches, some more there, some more matches here, and there's some fat wood I prepared already, just in case things go tits up and I'm struggling. I've got that all dry in my tinder kit as well, in my fire lighting kit. Yeah, so I'm using multiple methods of fire lighting. I'm not just relying on one. So that's that little bit done. However, because me being me, I'm a bit pedantic about things. I'm listening to Adrian of Northwest Bushcraft, who primarily, should I say, who has taught me my bushcraft skills. I spent 6 years in the armed forces. They never taught me this. It was Adrian of Northwest Bushcraft. I've been out on his courses. I'm actually an instructor for him now. Yeah, we're going again. Yeah.
Yep.
Phil decided to press the stop button. Yeah, so the old army adage, what I was taught was, if you're not using it, put it away. So we'll do that. I'll put that to one side for now. Okay, I actually have a second fire lighting kit, which is this I keep in my pocket. It's always on me all times. If for whatever reason I lose that or misplace it or whatever, I've got another one inside here. I've got a ferro rod and a striker. I also carry inside this one as well an old hacksaw blade. This was a tip from Adrian Rose. It throws a fantastic spark. There we go. There. So that works really, really well. There we are. So yeah, there's sparks. That works really well. So it's inside my kit. I also have some fat wood again, just in case I've lost that and I need some fat wood. So that's cool. I have this little tin here. At some stage I'm going to use it to make some char cloth. So yeah, I put these in the other night because I had them kicking about, and there was another one, and I thought they might come in handy for something. Mr. Bowers is borrowing my hammock. What he done is, there's a dog just nudging Phil. We get that, don't we, with children and animals. I'll be the animal, Meg can be the child. Megan, go on, find your stick. Get out. Go on. Out. Go and find your stick. What's this? Here. Got rid of her. Okay. So yeah, so the hammock's got the old soft shackles on Phil didn't know what they was because he's used to using carabiners and all sorts of stuff. He didn't know what they was, so he pulled it to bits. So I had a spare one in here. Stroke of genius by myself, I do say so. Yet again, some more matches, stormproof matches, and I've got a pencil sharpener in here if I need to make fine shavings to get a fire going. Okay, that's in my little tin there. So what I'm doing is I'm using multiple ways of fire lighting as recommended to me by Dave Canterbury and Adrian Rose. Just going back in my little tin, I've also got one more method of fire lighting. Now, it's what's called a Fresnel lens. So it's full of tiny little rings, and that's for magnifying the sun and getting your bits of tinder going, or your bird's nest with dry stuff that you've collected. That's really well, it works really good, that. So I've got that as well. So I'm not just relying on one method of fire lighting, because when you're out here, it's weird. Sometimes you can use what I'm going to use in a second, which is the birch bark method, and the shavings and the ferro rod. And the reason I'm using that is because I've been practicing it, I'm getting pretty good at it, so I'm just going to keep on top of that skill for now. At some stage I'm going to go to the flint and steel and char cloth, but I'm just practicing these skills. And as you see, there's another lighter in here, that works. There's another one in my pocket. And just to reiterate what Dave Canterbury said to us, look, just get a fire going the best way you can. But it's good to practice the other skills, just in case your lighter breaks, so you're not just relying on one method of fire lighting. I don't know what Megan's doing, she's on it with a stick. Megan, what are you doing? Chill. Right, Gio, that can go back in here. Okay.
Sounds like
on my everyday carry with my knife, I'm just going to get rid of the dog. Get off, clown. That's her gone. So my knife of choice, I have another fire steel. That's always on my person. Why? Why now? We've been here all day. No, it's all right. Give me that. Give me that stick. Get off. Go find it. Right, okay. Ah, dogs. What I love it a bit. Right. So my other fire steel here, it's out, so I might as well use it. My little tin there with my gubbins in and my striker. Us at Northwest Bushcraft, oh, there's some more matches in there as well, and another striker. Us at Northwest Bushcraft, we've been trialling out these strikers here. A Chinese company got hold of us and they said, can you try these out? So I used one the other day really well, but you've got to suss it out which works best for your hand, and we'll talk about that in a second. Right, I've waffled on enough. Now this is a moment of truth. Like I said, it's now getting dark. This is where we're in the environment where we've got to get this fire going. If it doesn't work, it might not work. I might have to go to another method of fire lighting. I might have to sit down and have a think about what's going wrong or where I can get better. Okay, first things first, be prepared. So before it's got dark, I've got my my kindling ready to go, and all different sizes of wood. So I've got the matchstick size, sorry, the small size ready to go, then matchstick, then finger size, and these larger sizes there. Okay, so just move that. So what I've done is I've scraped up some birch bark shavings in a ball here. So this is a moment of truth. So, I prefer to use this way, it worked really well the other day. Oh, hang on. This is what I'm saying, you see. Let's try another way, it's not working. There we go. There's some sparks going. Rightio. You right there, Phil?
Yeah, got you.
So we're going to get some shavings off the ferro rod into it. Okie dokie. So I'm pulling the steel away from the shavings so I don't knock them everywhere.
Really.
Oh.
It's really wet up here though, isn't it? So nice.
Yeah, it's
Today,
not.
really wet.
But I should get one going.
Yeah.
He wants to go. There's an owl.
Here we
There
go.
we go. Rightio. Scare that on the old fire raft. Okay. I've got some other birch bark here. Ready to pop on there. There's also some mountain ash or rowan bark that I got just to keep adding before I put the other bits and bobs on. Like I said, this is no smoke and mirrors, this is actually live. So I'm just taking my time. It's gone out, that's fine. Okay, that's fine, it's gone out, no worries. Right, stop. Just keep filming, mate.
It's on again now.
Right, okay, so that's gone out, that's fine. Okay, that's not a drama. So like I said, I've got some fat wood that I prepared before, because obviously it's dark now. I don't really want to be going, I could do, but for what I have on me, I might as well use it. The fat wood shavings. Okay, the old adage, if you're not using it, just put it away. I'll keep it out just in case I need it again. Okie dokie. Don't know what she's just done. There we go. Okay. So there's a fat wood. Looking better, looking better. This is where you've got to be patient and listen to the fire now. I don't really want to be throwing a load of stuff on, and there's no cause for that to do so. Almost, not just yet. When the flames come through, we're on round about now. Okay, let's get some more rowan bark to pull the flames through. Fire, yes. So the flame's coming through again. Let's give the fire a bit of time. No. Megan, go away. Megan wants to know what's going on. What are you down there, Dad? Lighting a fire so I can cook your tea, you tool. This rowan bark works really well. I think it's to do with the natural sugars in it. It's just pulling the flames through. There we go. Mr. Bauer sounds like he's in a bit of pain. The joys of being a cameraman, eh?
Oh yeah. Look, I'm not running away with it, son.
Eh?
Look, I'm not having your camera off.
It's on bricks, kid.
Yeah.
A bit of camp admin while that's just sorting its next stage out, which actually isn't too far away now, but it looks at that. Just keeping an eye on. Feed the fire.
Someone's coffee's getting drunk there. I think it's mine.
Could well be, Mr. Bowers, you've been had. So yeah, just being patient now, getting the fire, letting it do its own thing, without too much interruption here. I'm going to provide some oxygen to the fire in a second. I might use this actually. That worked well, didn't it? Yeah.
Might be worth just mentioning, as Rick's blowing on the fire, there's no wind, so you won't get a face full of smoke or flames at the same time.
Might keep us entertained.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Okay, and then in turn it'll be the next lot of size wood and next lot and next lot. Thanks. So just to recap, I showed you my tinder kit. And it's useful to have more than one method of fire lighting. Because obviously it came into play then. I tried the birch bark, wouldn't go for whatever reasons. Maybe it was my fault, maybe I smothered the fire. Who knows? But because I was prepared, be prepared. I think that's a scout motto, but it works. Hey, I'll have that all day long if it works. I had another method of fire lighting that came into play. So yeah, then obviously I went onto the fat wood because it was something I prepared and carried in my tinder kit. So yeah, if you've enjoyed it, Ace, thanks a lot. Cheers, Phil Meister.
Okay, I have to stand up now. My legs are gone numb.
Like
Cheers, son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so the fire's going, tea's on. That's the bubble of the stew, bubble and stew. Yeah, man. If you just shine your torch up a bit to the top of the tripod, Phil. So we knock this tripod up. I'm just going to quickly go into the tripod, shine on the natural cordage, mate. Yeah, so we've got a load of natural cordage, which is honeysuckle. Yeah, and I just use a chain. This was another Dave Canterbury's thing. I've seen it before, but I went back to just shine down the chain. So yeah, I went back to going through natural materials. But tomorrow when it's light, if I remember, I'll just quickly go through what I do with the chain. It's slightly modified than what Dave had. So yeah, but normally what I would do is I'd use a hazel rod. But no, this time I just thought I'd try this method because it was just something else to do. Cool, man. And where's Mr. Bowers? Say hello, Mr. Bowers.
You're right, lads.
It's all dark, see. He's a proper Mickey Mouse.
You go.
There he is.
Better disco lights.
There he is, Mr. Bowers. Yeah. Okie dokie. Oh, look at the dog. Look at the pooch. Oh, she's knackered. Yes, let's take us. Shamo.